What's up, guys? I'm so excited to do this video for you today. It's the most requested. I did poll you guys on Facebook on what you wanted to see, and this was #1, so that was great for me because I've been wanting to do this video for a long time. So I'm excited to get started. I did decide to break it up into a couple different parts so that you guys can watch it at your own pace. And I'm also going to be putting a link in the description where you guys can put your email in, and I will send you a PDF version also. So that you guys can, get some notes from that and stuff. So that should probably be easy for you. Okay, so let's get started. First, I wanted to say that, okay, so these are 47 free or cheap ways to generate leads. I'm not going to go into super depth on any of them. I'm going to give you just an overview. The idea here is to give you guys a lot of ideas and to get your creative juices flowing, because lead generation does not end and begin on Facebook. I mean, Facebook is a great place to generate leads, can be, but I mean, there's so many other ways. And so my hope is that once you get through this series, then you're going to have all kinds of ideas that you're going to be able to act on. I would not pay for any training on any of these ideas because there is a wealth of knowledge already on YouTube and free available to you. Once you master something and you get all the free information down and you know what you're doing, then yeah, maybe some extra training or something, if something's really complicated. But all of this stuff is really easy to find on YouTube and to get basic training on, so I would definitely do that first. Okay, so let's get started. And before we begin, okay, so this is my own experience. This is not me representing IC. I wanted to say that up front. Before I came to IC, I was a local SEO and I did online reputation management for small businesses. So yada yada, right? So one of the things that I did a lot of was helping small businesses generate leads online and offline. So this video is me, and this list is mine. So definitely with all these messages, you want to make sure that you know your audience before you ever try to generate any leads at all. You should know who you're selling to, and you should absolutely have down pat what you're selling. If that's IC, then you need to know the entire comp plan, and you need to know about your products. The worst way to bomb a sale is to just not be informed, to have somebody there and willing to buy, and they ask you a question and you're like, oh, I don't know, I'll get back to you. It's just poor salesmanship. So make sure you know what you're selling and make sure that you know your audience. Once you know your audience, you can kind of think of where they hang out and what's the best way to approach them. So you're going to want to target, you're going to want to tailor your marketing to that audience, obviously, and all of these methods you're going to want to do that. So just wanted to say that up front. So here we go. And we are going to start with Facebook because I know a lot of you are already on Facebook. So it's going to be just real basic run through right here. #1 is group prospecting, and I did say to stay away from the marketing groups, and you guys know which ones I'm talking about, the ghost groups where it's just like endless auto posters and free money online groups, all of those groups. Most of the people that are in there are not even people. Most of them are robots, and most of the ones that are people that could possibly be interested are already in a similar opportunity than yours. You know what I mean? Like, don't try to like cross recruit each other, because they'll try to recruit you and you'll try to recruit them, and it's just a waste of time. In my opinion, it's not the most effective use of your time. So I think it's a better strategy to find local groups, and local groups where you have something to contribute. So like find a local gardening group. It doesn't have to be about internet marketing. You just want to find people that have similar interests and find a group that you have something to contribute to. And I did say that it's a passive strategy. I'm in a group with a bunch of moms, expat moms that have moved away from the U.S. and a lot of them ask me about IC. A lot of them ask me about IC, and I've never marketed that to them because, of course, I don't market IC. But it's a great way to, make friends, real friends, and have them see your timeline, and they're going to ask you, you know what I mean? Because once they trust you about one thing, if they trust your opinion on being on parenting or gardening or whatever else, they're going to trust you on what do you do for a living? Oh, I see that you're doing this, I'm interested, and they're going to trust your opinion on it and your advice on it. So that's a really good way to do it. Okay, so let's move on. All right, the follow-up. Facebook is awesome for follow-up. I think that it's probably one of the best uses for Facebook. One of the links that I'm going to put in the description is for the mass invite tool. If you have a big list, like a big stack of leads laying around somewhere, or email addresses, phone numbers, you can put them actually into Facebook, into the mass invite tool, and you can send them all friend requests. And it's a really good way to stay out of Facebook jail. I've never been sent to Facebook jail for that. It doesn't work like regular friend requests. I think you're cut off at 20 with regular friend requests. So this is a good way to get around that and actually, stay in touch with people that you're in touch with elsewhere, because really you want to really focus. You want all your people in one place, because that's going to make it easiest on you. So you want to, just like the word funnel, you want to funnel them into one place where you can market to them, right? So if Facebook is, your landing spot where you want them to land, then that's a really good way to do it, is using the mass invite tool. And you can also have your own Facebook group that you can invite them to. And when I say do it the backwards way, that means that a lot of you see your group leaders, your team leaders on Facebook, and they'll have a ton of people there. And you'll say, oh, wow, they're really good at marketing on Facebook. And some of them probably are, but a lot of them are marketing off of Facebook, and they're bringing their people to Facebook. So that serves two purposes. One, it gets all their people in the same place, right? So it gets them all into a Facebook group so that they can, keep in contact with them. And then two, it also makes them look really popular on Facebook. So then they actually get more leads on Facebook, real leads, because they look very popular on Facebook. So it's a double-edged sword, very useful. I recommend that you guys check that out too. Okay, let's moving on here. Okay, so contests are win-win. You can do a very inexpensive contest on Facebook and get huge results from it. I would say gift cards, like a $20 Amazon gift card, and people go crazy. People just like to be in contests, and people just like to win things. It doesn't have to be something expensive. I would say that, like I say here, match the prize to the action. So, I'm gonna have a $20 Amazon gift card giveaway this weekend. By Saturday. All you have to do to be entered in is to join my Facebook group, and and then comment on this post and just say I joined. You know what I mean? Or you can get them to, hey, you need to opt into my list if you want to be entered, or hey, you need to do this if you want me to enter. People are very likely to comment. They're not as likely to share things unless it's a big ticket item. If you're talking about something a little bit more expensive, people are more likely to share something on their own timeline. So just make sure you match the prize to the action, to get the most out of your, most bang for your buck. And also be aware of the Facebook rules about contests. It's always safer to run a contest off of your business page if you have a fan page, because it's just, that's how Facebook really wants you to do it. A lot of people do it anyways on their timelines, and I've never seen anybody get in trouble for it, but just be aware and, try to follow the rules there, guys. Okay, so let's go on. Moving on. And my computer's like, this is too big. This is too massive. Okay, so number 4 is be social and be interesting. And I use the Dos Equis guy because he's the most interesting man in the world, right? So pay attention to engagement, and that means see what kind of posts are getting you the most engagement. Is it text posts? Is it images? Do your selfies get more likes? What kind of posts are getting more likes? And post more of that. And also pay attention to the times that you're posting. Obviously, if you're getting more engagement in the morning, then make sure you're posting in the morning. Engage with friends and friends of friends, and that just means that's what Facebook is about, is being social. So just make sure you're being social. And and the last thing, be mindful, be purposeful, and don't get sucked in. And that's a huge deal, guys, because I know marketers that spend 8 to 10 hours a day on Facebook, and they're not getting any leads. They're just hanging out on Facebook, and nobody's going to pay you to hang out on Facebook. So make sure that everything you're doing is related to your marketing strategy. You know what I mean? Unless you just want to hang out on Facebook, which is cool too. So number 5, Facebook like the big fish. Okay, so this is more advanced stuff. Creating a fan page, you want to make sure it's branded for you. And you can learn all about that kind of stuff on YouTube and online. And you want to study successful fan pages. So look at the big brands and what they're doing and the kind of stuff that they're posting, and what is helping them to get engagement, and what are they doing differently that you're not doing. And then I said also pre-schedule your posts, because that's a time thing. It can be so overwhelming. If you decide, I'm going to post 3 times a day, it can become a big chore, and you don't want it to take up. I know myself, I work better in chunks, right? So if I have an hour a day to do social media and to run all through my social media, then that's going to turn into like 3 hours. So I'd rather schedule all my posts in advance, and you can do that if you have a fan page. So, and then test, which is what we talked about before, just paying attention to engagement, what kind of posts are getting you the best results, and then learn about Facebook ads, which Facebook ads can be super effective and super cost effective also. Very cheap, and a lot of people are intimidated by them, and they don't think that they should have to pay to be on Facebook or something, but really you're missing out, because Facebook ads are very cost effective and they're very effective for leads if you're doing it right. So make sure that you do your homework on it. Otherwise, yeah, you would be throwing money down the toilet. So make sure that you do your homework and find out how it works. And there's some rules about the kinds of images you can post and how much text can be on the images and things like that. So you want to make sure that you really check on that before you do it. But I would definitely say try. Okay, so let's moving on. Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to cut off the video, guys, because I want to split this up, like I said, into workable chunks of information so that it doesn't get too overwhelming, and that people can fit in a video in just a couple minutes and not have to think that they have to be online forever listening to my voice. So, okay, I'm going to stop it right here.